I know I need to, and this time I'm really going to, even though for 2 years I haven't. I'm really committed. Hi, this is Mark Silver with Heart of Business, and that's what a member of our learning community was telling me in a conversation about marketing. Not exactly like that. I was being dramatic. She wasn't being anywhere near that dramatic. But she was talking about thinking that she really needed to get her speakers packet together and to start trying to get into large speaking venues to market her business and get in front of a lot of people. And she was nervous about it. And you could see the discomfort in her body. And I see this a lot. I've seen this a lot over the years, how hard it is to contemplate stepping into really big spaces with your marketing. And so what I told her is what I've told many people, which is to ditch the A-list marketing. A-list, if you're not familiar with the term, it refers to really famous or well-known people with big platforms, big audiences, a lot of visibility. And for most micro-sized businesses, sure, it would be wonderful to show up in that kind of environment, but it's often not necessary. Instead, I was talking to her and said, well, what about C-list? Not even B-list, but C-list. What if you reached out to people in your audience and said, hey, if you know other people like that, do you have a handful of friends? Would it be helpful for me to show up and us to have like a conversation on this topic for the next, for 45 minutes or an hour? Would that be helpful to your friends? Do you know people that have podcasts? Maybe they're just starting out. Maybe they have a small audience. Oh my goodness, you could see the relief in her body when she realized like she didn't have to reach out to big names or step into these really big arenas. The truth is, for her business, if she did that 5, 6, 8, 10 times in a year, had conversations with groups of people, that her audience members, people in her audience already, where she had 100 or so people introduced her, she could double her audience to 200 or to 300. She could do a webinar and have people share it among their people. And she could get onto podcasts where maybe they have 100 followers or 200 followers, and there's not a huge list and there's no gatekeepers, and it's just not an intense situation. Look at your business. Look at what it really needs to thrive at the level that it is. And don't think that you have to push yourself into a larger arena than really makes sense. That nervousness that we feel is not just, quote unquote, an issue to get over. Sometimes, very often, there is real heart wisdom in it, telling us that there is an easier way, a more accessible way. Embrace C-list marketing. Make it easy on yourself. And then you will be invited in time into larger arenas. I'd love to hear your experience with this. If you have any questions or pushback, this is Mark Silver with Heart of Business, and I wish the best to you and your business.